Do not sell your home in 2022 until you first take these 5 critical steps. Number 1, you have to know where you're going. Especially right now because we have such an extreme housing shortage, you really need to have a good idea of where you're wanting to move next. You need to know what state you're going to be in, what city you're going to be in, and ideally even what neighborhood you would like to be in, so that way you can know how competitive that market is going to be and what you're going to need to do in order to win a home in that market. Because I'm assuming if you're selling your home, you're going to need to buy another one. Now the second step you need to take is really discuss and have a good idea of your time frame. It makes a big difference if you need to sell and be out of your home and into the next one within 2 weeks or 30 days, or if you can wait and maybe you can be moved in 3 months or 6 months or maybe even a year or 2. Selling your home right now to be moved in 30 days is going to be a much different picture than if you need to sell and be moved within 3 months or 6 months. You're going to have to be much more aggressive and you're going to have to start taking steps right now, like today, in order to make that deadline. So those are the most important 2 steps. Know your time frame and know where you're going, because if you don't have those 2 pieces of critical information, a real estate agent, a lender, and anyone else that's working in real estate is going to have a hard time helping you make that move if you're not even sure where you're going and when you need to be there. Now the third critical step, once you figured out those other 2, is to get pre-approved with a lender. Now again, this is going to apply if you need to go buy a new home, which I'm assuming you do because most people do. Now you need to do this in advance, and I would recommend even doing this ahead of time before you list your house. That way you have a good idea and a good picture of what it's going to take to get into a new home. And this is extremely important right now because of how high interest rates have gotten. If you're going to get a 5% interest rate on your next home, that's going to be a much different picture than if you had bought a home in 2020 or 2021 and got a 2.5% interest rate. The affordability just based on the interest rate is going to change a lot. So if you have an interest rate in the 2% range or even in the 3% range, you really need to get on a phone with a lender so you can talk about the current rates and what you're likely to get. And keep in mind that interest rates are moving exceptionally fast these days. Once you've gotten pre-approved, you have a good idea of your interest rate that you're going to have on your new loan, and you know what purchase price you're pre-approved up to, you could move on to step number 4, which is to prepare a net sheet. And if you have a good real estate agent, they're going to help you prepare this net sheet so you don't need to worry too much about it. A net sheet provides you with all of the expenses of selling your home, including commissions, including fees to the title company, and everything else. That way you know how much you're going to walk away from, or at least a rough estimate at closing. And this is really important because you need to have an extremely solid idea of how much money you're going to have available to put into that next home, because I'm assuming that's going to go towards your down payment and your closing costs. Now step number 5, after you've done all of these things, an ideal situation would be to go and find your actual dream home in whatever market and whatever city you're looking to buy it. And depending on how competitive the market that you're looking to buy is, you could potentially get your offer accepted even before having your home listed on the market. You just have a contingency where you're not going to buy the home until your home sells. Now, keep in mind that's not going to be as strong of an offer as it would be if you didn't have that contingency, but if you can make that happen, you can have a home under contract that you're going to buy before your home is even under contract, then that's just going to really streamline this whole process for you. But do keep in mind, if you're going to make this happen, you will probably need your home at least on the market in order to get your offer accepted when you're purchasing another house. So those are the 5 steps. Know where you're going, know your time frame, get pre-approved, get a net sheet filled out, and know where your ideal home is. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.